Hi there, I'm Sandy LeBlanc from fitjourney.ca, and I'm here to talk to you today about how to stretch the quadricep muscles for runners, cyclists, and endurance athletes. So your quadriceps are your power muscles for these sports, so it's very critical that you address stretching them. They're also the muscles that complain the least in our body. So sometimes we don't realize our quads are tight until we get something going on in our hip or our knee, and then we're told, stretch your quads. So let's do a little bit of preventative work here. Quadriceps have four parts. With runners and cyclists, typically the outer quad, the outer thigh is well developed. And sometimes along with that, then the inner quad is maybe not as well developed, and it can create an imbalance in your leg and can sometimes lead to issues with the knees. So it's critical that you do some work to strengthen your inner quads, and I'm going to give you one tip on that. Very simple. A wide-toed squat. You take your feet wide, toes pointing out, hold a little weight to get a little more out of it, and you just sink down and come back up. So now I'm really keeping the hip, the knee, and the ankle on the same alignment. So down and up. And then just to see that from the side, you're not letting the knees go forward. You're keeping the knees right over the feet, so that means your hips go way back, and you can just kind of power it up. You know, I've only done 4 squats, but I can feel that already in my inner thighs. So maybe do a set of 10 with a little bit of weight 3 times a week to help strengthen those inner quad muscles. So 3 good stretches for the quadriceps, and there are 3 kind of principles to follow. The first is to work to stretch the belly of the muscle, so not feeling tugging at either end where the joints are. The second is to work within 80% of your maximum range of motion in the stretch. And the last tip is to breathe in and out as you stretch. Obviously breathing. So first of all, a standing stretch. You're going to find your balance, pick one knee up and grab the ankle, and then bring the knee straight down. So you want to have the knees together, so you're stretching not just your inner quad, but that big outer quad. And so now my range of motion here, I could really pull back about this far, and that's about 100%, but I'm feeling a little tugging in my knees, so I'm not going to go to 100, I'm going to go to 80, which is about here. And then breathing in and out. As I breathe in, I'm going to release. As I breathe out, I'm going to pull back into the intensity. So inhale and exhale. I'm trying to keep my hips square, trying to keep my knees together. Second stretch is using a bench or your couch or your bed at home and taking a big step forward, laying the top of your leg on the bench. I'm supporting my weight with this leg and my hands. And I'm trying to keep my hips parallel to the bench. So I'm not letting the hip open up. I'm trying to keep the knee, the thigh facing straight down. So if you're not feeling a stretch at this point, you can flex your foot. That engages the quads. And reach back to grab the ankle. And just give this maybe 5 to 6 breaths, moving in and out with the breath. It's an awesome stretch. And then the third variation is laying down. So same idea, you can come onto your bench or your bed, laying on your tummy. It's kind of a variation of the last one we did, except this is actually a pose from yoga called downward facing bow. You're going to bend this one knee, reach back, grab that ankle, and try to keep the hips parallel to the mat. In fact, pressing the hip bone down into the mat just adds a little bit of intensity into the stretch. Good. So there you go. 3 good stretches for the quadricep muscles. Of course, you want to spend equal amount of time on both sides. Try to find at least 2 senses of the release in the stretch, so giving yourself enough time for the muscles to actually benefit from the stretch. That means, at a minimum, 45 to 60 seconds a side. Your body will thank you.